What if Deku had Bendy's powers? Part, 6. Now, for this one, we're going to start this one off right at the training camp. And we're going to go on with Bendy's training schedule. Because every one of them had their own unique way of training in the, training camp arc. Now, it took a lot of thinking to come up with what would be the best training for, Bendy, as he's weak to some elements like water and fire to some degree. So I am increasing his durability for training with Todoroki and someone from class 1B, which can help with his training against water and other elements. So he'll work closely with both those classes. Mostly with Todoroki for during the fire and ice. He's gonna have like their own little sparring matches sometimes during this arc. So they're constantly trained. And I'm actually going to add a scene that I want to put in here for the training camp arc. And this is where we're going to get more interaction with Class 1A and Class 1B. As they're having a full-on conversation, they're eating dinner. As it's like the second day I'm going to say third day of training camp. As they're all eating food, as Bendy Deku goes over to Class 1B's table and goes, asks, I know we've never really formally met, but I'm Bendy. Or, Bendy's my hero name. Deku is my actual name. As he puts his hand out, as of course Monoma does something like, "What, you think you're better at us? We're better than you in every way." And this is where Kendo comes over with, "I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it." She just like backs her hand up and in gigantic form and just hits him into the ground. Ooh, that was a nice hit, I gotta say. As he pulls out a sign, a 10 out of 10. As, she's very confused about that. And this has the very person that doesn't talk a lot, has a white mask, black mask, white hair. I believe could turn objects small or transport objects. I don't know the extensity of all Class 1B's core, so please forgive me. So, she laughed at that comment because Motoba literally just got slapped into the dirt. I know something better that would fit this situation if you don't mind. As he, asks, Kendo if it's okay. May I? Sure, why not? He's already unconscious. Good. As he puts his hands into his ink and just pulls out a coffin. He puts Monoma in the coffin and puts the coffin into where he got slammed into the dirt. There. You should wake up in about a few hours. As he kicks the coffin over. Did you just bury him alive? No. See, the coffin's right here. He can just simply open it and wake up like a vampire does. Although, good luck trying to get past these locks. As the coffin's been locked up by, 1, 2, 3, locks. And they will come off in exactly morning, so if he wakes up before then, good luck getting out of the coffin. And this is when Aizawa comes over. Okay, get him out of the coffin. You're not pulling this under my watch. Come on! Wouldn't you like to see him struggle get out of a coffin for a few hours? As this is where then Vlad comes in. You know what? It would do the kid some good to be, trapped by himself for a while. Do some reflecting. As Aizawa looks over and gives Vlad the death glare. What? Now that man knows comedy. As Aizawa then takes his attention back towards Bendy Deku. Hey, what? I was just suggesting. You go do whatever you want and get out of here. As he simply just cartoon runs away. Anyway, it was nice meeting you, Class 1B. As he just runs off into the forest. And Vlad, apparently I'm going to have a talk with you. And if I remember correctly, I feel bad for Monoma because he was the only one to fail his test, I believe, from Class 1B. For where he had to be stuck in the extra training. To where there were like 5 students from Class 1A. As, we go back to Deku, who's just scrolling around the forest, He's trying to figure out what he could do train on. As he finds a secluded area in the forest, it's nighttime by the way, no one's gonna see him. As he transforms into his giant bendy form, I need to find a way to make this more durable. As the giant bendy form is a lot harder to control than y'all think, as it takes up a lot of quantity, a lot of ink to keep it functioning. So like the power of the beast bendy, it doesn't have the power of the beast bendy. It more like has the power, which still is pretty OP because it's the ink demon type of muscle, but a lot less than the beast bendy Deku muscle. Because his strongest form, and I will say this out of pure strength and not abilities, is the beast bendy form, which can overpower the, well, giant bendy form for now, until he gets more stronger of controlling it. Or, well, pretty much. And I have to say, the Ink Demon is more with skills and abilities. As he's training with the form, he's trying to get to move easier, as he has trouble moving like the form a lot. Most of the time he has to control like 2 arms, control 2 body parts at a time, including the head, so that's technically 3 body parts. So he can technically move 3 body parts at a time with the giant bendy. He doesn't really have that much control over it yet, but he still has quite a bit of control to fight large opponents with it. So he spends about, I want to say, the entire night training with that form until he has full control over the entirety of the form. Which, it's Bendy who pretty much has limitless potential, so him figuring out how to control the entirety of the form in one night is an option in my book. So he learns to control the form all in one night to its fullest potential. So now he could, well, technically rival Gigantomachima pretty much in the form, as he's now learned to, well, use the strength similar but not quite there to the Beast Bendy Deku. He still has a little bit more training to reach the Beast Bendy power. Now we go back to where he goes to his class, as he was all tired-eyed. Oh man, I guess I did overwork. As he just puts up a hammock and just grabs a nice tea and just starts drinking it as he falls asleep. Excuse me, sir. As Bendy wakes up, and, well, I'm just gonna say he had, like, a paper over his eyes, covering his eyes from the sun, as it comes flying off. Wait, hello? As he looks over, and it's the headband person from Class 1B. If I remember, he can make a solid layer of, well, air to block people? I'm sorry, I do not know all Class 1B's quirks, so please forgive me if I got that terribly wrong. Yeah, what is it? It's about 12 o'clock. You should be up. And also, I think, Mr. Aizawa was looking for you. As his eyes widen, oh boy, I'm in deep trouble. As he then hides behind him. You gotta hide me. You cannot let that man find me. I need to hide until next week. As he doesn't get his metaphor. What do you mean? You know how much training he'll put me on if he finds out I'm slacking? Truth be told, Aizawa is the type of person, if he finds you slacking, he's gonna pile 10 times more work on you. I feel like he's that type of teacher. He really just likes to make his students to be the most powerful person they can be. As he looks like over back at Bendy. As Aizawa comes out. Did you seriously train all night? As Bendy just simply pulls out a sign from behind one of the Class 1B people that he was hiding behind, saying yes. Then I can let this slide. As he turns around and walks away. As then he makes a sign and pokes it out, saying, "I'm free for the day. You better still be training, though." As another sign comes out saying, "Well, that plan failed." As he leaves, the person that he was with, does he have the eyes in the back of his head? As Bendy Deku just simply shrugs his shoulders. Sorry. If I call Bendy Deku because it's if Deku had Bendy's powers, I just call it because it's simple and easy. Now, this is going to be coming to the time where it's going to be a lot of dialogue and all that, talking. Like, they're still going to have that little event where they try to scare people. I'm not going to go over all that. So, it goes same as canon, and now it's time for an hour before the attack of the LOV. As Deku's just chilling with Class 1A and Class 1B people who are just preparing for the events, as he's putting on a little bit of a magic trick, just messing around, essentially. He's now throwing bowling balls up in the air as they all fall down, hit him on the head, cartoon style. And everyone's just laughing as he's putting on a bit of a show. As then he opens his glove and just sees, "Oh, look at the time! I'm gonna be late for my meeting!" As a suit appears on him and a briefcase appears in his hand as he just runs out Looney Tunes style into the direction where Koda's at. So he did have conversation with other people in Class 1B and Class 1A. The girl with the vine cork, which I can never remember her name. Kendo, Shoto, Ida, Uraka, and Juro. And I'll say Monoma too, because Monoma is not really that bad of a guy. He's just a lot of self-absorbed, ego kind of thing, but anyway, we go to where Deku is approaching Koda. As he still has the suitcase on, he's just walking. As he gets there, he sees Koda, being held in the air by Muscular in his mask. As Deku sees this and his eyes widen as he pulls into the ink and pulls out like a javelin type thing, but the spear is dull, so it won't pierce anything. As he throws the spear as it hits Muscular's arm, causing it to move away from Koda, dropping Koda in a way. As Bendy Deku quickly runs super fast and grabs him. As he sets, Koda down. "Why don't you go towards, the heroes and all that? I will deal with this guy." As Koda is scared because Muscular killed his parents and is now coming to finish the job. Not gonna happen. As Bendy looks over at Muscular. "So you must be one of those hero kids or students, whatever. I'm just gonna beat you into the ground." As Muscular loved he loved fighting, he loved defeating people, he loved to see the misery on their face. As he gets his hands in a boxing position, as he's, come on, let's fight. As Koda just goes to the, his aunt, because Deku told him to, and I don't know why he didn't do it in the anime. Like, you see a fight going on, and your instinct should tell you to run, not sit there and watch. But anyway, in this one, Koda goes over there and just goes to his aunt. They begin to fight. As Deku starts to, throw hands, dodging Muscular's blows, because he's way more tiny than Muscular, and can also turn into ink, so he's getting left and right hooks on Muscular's face. "This is a piece of cake, Muscular. You're not putting up much of a fight." As he then, punches as his hand gets enveloped with muscle fibers. As he tries to pull away, "Hey, why isn't my hand turning into ink to get away?" As then he gets socked by Muscular in the face. As he gets hit into the wall, as he quickly comes out like nothing happened, his arm is missing. As Muscular had dropped the arm that got separated. As he looks at his arm as it just reforms into ink. "Oh, I timed it perfectly. Phew!" As, Muscular looks over. "You're gonna be a fun one." As he starts throwing more punches that are breaking the wall. as Bendy Deku's kind of just playing around with Muscular a bit. He's using all types of weapons, hammers, brooms, a crowbar, even a barrel of TNT. As he pulls a barrel of TNT and just lights it, as he just ducks for cover as it explodes. Doesn't do much damage. It burns some of the muscle fibers off Muscular, but it doesn't do much, even though it was a full barrel of TNT. But whatever. As Muscular's like, "No, I'm here to end this," as he goes to throw a clear punch towards, well, Bendy's head. As then he gets a little bit of a sensation in his mind. As we go to Deku, who, well, is preparing for the attack, as two arms grab onto his shoulder and just toss him back. In his mindscape, as he's now just hit a wall and is in a cage, as he's unconscious in this because they still don't want him to know they exist for the time being. Now, outside, it seems time has stopped for the moment. As, well, the Ink Demon and, well, Beast Bendy are discussing. Now, I will explain, I like to have these two separated like two different entities. One, Beast Bendy Deku, doesn't really have a mind, is more feral. Kind of like a wild animal. And the Ink Demon has a mindset and is pretty smart and cunning. So I wanted to separate them two to make this story interesting. As the Ink Demon says, "Alright, you get the Muscular. I'll get the next few." As he simply nods in agreement. As Bendy then starts to, well, transform. As Muscular takes his opportunity while he assumed Deku is distracted. He throws a punch towards, well, Deku's head again, as he catches it with his large arm, and he's now bigger than Muscular. As the Beast Bendy form makes a smile, before punching Muscular and his muscle fibers, sending him flying into a wall. Cracking the wall as several debris fall down, as Beast Bendy just simply whacks it away. As he still has that malicious grin. As Muscular gets up, as he didn't take much damage, but he could really feel the pain colliding with his main body there. Just a little bit. "You're tough. This is going to be fun," as he then transforms into his stage we really wouldn't see until, well, he escapes prison and goes to fight Deku again, but I'm giving him the form early. As Muscular goes to, well, fight with blows, as they start trading blows, the Beast Bendy Deku just trading blows with Muscular. As the Beast Bendy form is having fun. As then when Muscular goes to throw a punch at his chest, Beast Bendy's longer arms would grab Muscular and just toss him as he ragdolls down the mountain. As he jumps and then just starts surfing on a boulder that broken off when Muscular hit a wall. As he's just on top of this boulder, as Muscular gets up out of his daze as he wakes up, well, gets up from where he had landed. As he looks up, he gets crushed by a boulder. And Beast Bendy Deku just, well, jumps off. Thinking, Muscular's done for. There's no way he would have survived that. As he starts to walk away. As Muscular does the most stupid thing I probably will have said in any of these stories with Muscular. He gets up and tries to fight Beast Bendy Deku again after being ragdolled down a mountain and crushed by a boulder. Blood visible coming down his head. It seems like this man isn't even conscious. As he gets back up, "When did I say this fight was over?" As he just gets punched like the Hulk would punch somebody in the face and into the mountain. As he gets crushed by rubble, leaving an unconscious, well, Muscular there on the field. As he makes his way towards the main area. As he's walking, he then gets he starts transforming into the Ink Demon. As he starts wiping off his clothes a little bit from, the dust. "You really take things too far, Beast Bendy. I said you could finish the fight, not go fight others. It's my job now." As Deku starts to wake up in his mind. "Oh, where am I?" As he sees, well, Beast Bendy Deku just sitting there in front of him. Oh, well, who are you? Wait, you're my beast form. As the beast form Deku, or beast form Bendy, looks over at Deku. As, I didn't know you had a mind of your own. As then he just hits the cage, sending, well, Bendy flying to the other side of the cage. As he tries to, well, transform into ink and get out of the cage. Doesn't really work in a mindscape, but he tries. As he gets electrocuted by just trying to escape. As the Beast Bendy Deku just simply writes a few words. The ink demon made this cage to specifically put you in your mind and etc etc. You shall not escape. Ha ha ha. What's that last word? As the Beast Bendy Deku doesn't really know what to say, as he doesn't really speak. So he just simply scratches his head. And now we go back to the Ink Demon Deku, who's currently, well, running amok. He just stroming around looking for opponents. Until he runs into Moonfish, who fills the Ink Demon with a bunch of swords, spikes, whatever his quirk was. Because I know it had something to do with his teeth. So, I'm just going to end this with no anything. He simply turns invisible. Moonfish thinks he's dead. He gets quickly decapitated by Ink Demon's Bendy's claws. So, simple. Moonfish is out of the story. Now, we go to where he sees, well, Bakugo and Tokiyami were kidnapped. Of course, in this timeline, Shoto grabs, same as canon, grabs Tokiyami as they take Bakugo. But this time, the Ink Demon, being the Ink Demon, turns invisible and goes through the portal. As he decides to sit, well, in the main base while they wait for Bakugo to wake up. And of course, gotta go throughout the class and all that. So they find Muscular in the morning, because they're not gonna find this guy otherwise. So they find him in the morning, unconscious, several broken bones. He's never gonna be able to use his right arm again. He has a fractured leg, and his skull was nearly pummeled to dust. He's still alive, his skull's still intact, but it almost got completely shattered. Basically, Muscular's never going to be able to use full power again, as he's sent off to prison. And everything else during the time of, well, them trying to find a way to free Bakugo stays the same for the most part. The only other thing they're worried about is Deku this time, because they're thinking he also got kidnapped by the Yellow V. Which, truth be told, he is trapped, but not with the Yellow V. He's more trapped in his mindscape. As, well, Deku is in his mind. What's a good way to get out of here? As he starts to, well, mess with his head. That guy isn't very smart. Maybe I can trick him. As he's contemplating. As he gets an idea, as a giant light bulb appears in his mind. As he then, well, makes a grill. And he starts grilling stuff. And during the meantime of this, we go to, well, the Ink Demon just sitting and waiting. When are those heroes gonna be here? I'm not going to sit around here and wait all this time for nothing, so those heroes better be here soon. I want to get the villains and heroes out of my way so I could take over this pitiful place. As then, he just waits. And that's where I'm gonna end part 6, I believe. Anyway, hopefully y'all enjoyed. Remember to like and subscribe. And I think part 7 is going to be the last part of the series. So make sure to hit the like button and subscribe button if you like this series. Hopefully y'all enjoy.